Hi everyone, this is Miss Ayers and welcome to our next lesson on 14-3 repeat bar graphs. Today we'll be continuing our topic of I can draw bar graphs and use them to solve problems. Our vocabulary is bar graphs. So let's watch a quick lesson, a quick video on what are bar graphs and explain to us how we can use them to answer questions.
Creating bar graphs. Suppose we decide to collect data about the number of students in this class who go to school by bike, bus, car, or on foot. It is useful to organize the data in a table first. In the first column, we indicate how students come to school. In the second column, we write the count, using numbers or tally marks. Students who take their bikes, raise your hands. So 5 of you take their bikes to school. How many take the bus? 8. How many come by car? 3. And how many of you walk to school? 9 students. Excellent. One way to represent this count data is to draw a bar graph. But what is a bar graph? Let's use a grid and label our categories. And let's say that coloring one square would represent a count of 1. We put this information to the side of the graph. We have 5 students who take their bikes to school. So on top of the bike category, we color the first square, and another right above it, and another, and so on until we've colored 5 squares. Notice how all colored squares combined make a long bar. Moving on to the next category, there are 8 students who take the bus to school. So on top of the bus category, we color 8 squares. And there are 3 students who come by car. So on top of the car category, we color 3 squares. Finally, there are 9 who walk to school. So on top of the walk category, we color 9 squares. And our bar graph is finished. In this lesson, you learned how to draw a simple bar graph.
So now that we know how to read and create a bar graph, let's use a bar graph to answer some questions. Here we have a bar graph of our favorite sports. We have on the side the number of students who voted on their favorite sports, and on the bottom we have listed all of the different sports: soccer, softball, basketball, and other, which could be a variety of different sports. Our first question says, how many students chose soccer as their favorite sport? Take a few seconds now to look and read our bar graph. How many students voted for soccer as their favorite sport? Well, you can notice that this bar graph has a different setup in that it skip counts by 2 for each number. Then in the middle, you still have a number. So right here, if I have 0 and 2, I know that the number that goes in between 0 and 2 is 1. So if I look at soccer, I can see that the bar graph is in the middle of 8 and 10. Well, what number goes in the middle of 8 and 10? You guessed it, 9. So 9 students chose soccer as their favorite sport. Looking at the bar graph, I'm going to answer question number 2. Which activity has the least amount of votes? Well, I'm going to look at which bar graph is actually the smallest of the 4. And you guessed it, it seems like other got the least amount of votes. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on bar graphs, and you're going to work on your task cards that could be found on Google Forms. Have a great day, everybody, and stay safe. Bye.